Divine Feminine Collective. I wasn't planning on doing this, but it just came to me. This is for a very specific feminine collective. Basically my clients and my collective that I really resonate with. And there's a lot of stuff going on with the root chakra and the sacral. And the first thing that came up is freedom, independent self-determination. And on a collective spectrum, the feminine is craving freedom on a soul level. And it makes sense because when you look at spiritual and universal law, right? And I forgot the exact terminology, but basically the pendulum, you know, what goes one way has to swing back type thing. And that's exactly what's happening energetically, because for so long the feminine has been suppressed. For literally thousands of years. In almost every way possible. And very boxed in. And very abused. And that energy, all of those women's desires that never got to manifest, and their desire for freedom builds up. Okay. The snap is inevitable. And this is really, really rippling through the feminine right now. Like, we are craving freedom in so many ways. Okay? And just because we have certain rights now that we should have had all along, there's still a lot of work to do, but this is what we're craving. The second thing that the feminine is craving right now is sanctuary, privacy, inviolate personal space, respected boundaries and taboos. A safe space to be her. A safe space to reconnect with herself. Without guilt, without disrespect, without interruptions, without feeling unsafe. And sometimes, the only sanctuary that you have is within yourself, depending on your circumstances. But do your best to create this in your life, okay? Another thing that my spirit is saying, for those of you that practice Espiritismo, or a different type of ancestor and spirit guide veneration, your Bovada, your ancestor and spirit guide altar, is a sanctuary for all of your spirits. But your feminine spirits really, really need it. The more feminine elements that you can bring to your Bovada right now, the better. So anything beautiful, anything life-giving like flowers or fresh fruit, jewelry. If you're like me and you have a lot of gypsy spirits, you gotta love jewelry, right? Mirrors, as long as you consecrate them. Just beautiful things. Fresh water, plants, anything associated with the Divine Feminine. And also you can make your Bovada your sanctuary as well. Okay, it'll heal both you and your spirits. But my spirits are saying what also is happening is this desire for freedom is there right now, and it's very strong for us and almost consumes us. And we try to create sanctuaries to do that. A lot of us do it not only for ourselves, but for other women. And we get a certain amount ahead. And then duality shows up. When I pulled this card after these two, I didn't really pay attention to the words, although this is very relevant. What caught my attention was the image. Because this represents fear. This represents the fear of death. And so many women for so long have been unalived because of a lot of different things. And we had to evolve to have a lot of fear. That's how we survived. But ultimately, on a spiritual level, it keeps us stuck. But it's very predatory. This is why protection work is important. To protect yourself from those energies and those people that embody this fear-mongering energy. But when this anxiety that these entities cause comes up, or try to cause comes up, your best solution is coming back to the present. Connecting with your emotions. Allowing yourself to feel the fear and doing your best to reassure yourself and move through it. I can't tell y'all how many things I have done this year alone, especially since the Fire Horse year started, that I thought I was gonna throw up. And I didn't anyway. And I am so happy that I did. And after I do the thing, I make a conscious effort to pour softness back into myself and nourish my nervous system. Because if you just do the thing and you don't give yourself any aftercare, you're gonna be capped. Okay? But we have to break through this fear because it's not serving us. Okay? And what they're saying is the earth and ocean elements are really trying to come forward and help us. Okay? Ocean conservation is very important. Okay? And also connecting with the earth. Because there's already a lot of fire and a lot of air floating around. These two need our assistance. Because think about what elements, what parts of nature on Earth get destroyed and absolutely fucking violated and abused and taken from and just exploited. Mother Earth, land, and the ocean. And in healing these parts of nature, we also heal ourselves because we are nature. Just as an ocean and the earth lives in the physical realm, you also have earth and water within you that you have to nourish. And we can't take the spiritual medicine from these places of nature if they're depleted. Right? So we have to take care of the earth and the ocean. And I feel intuitively that the more women come into power, because the patriarchy is fucking falling, thank God, but over the next 10 years, a lot more women, God willing, are going to come into power, and there's going to be a lot of positive shifts, I pray, for the land and for the ocean. Like, I see at least one very prominent female leader. I don't know if it's going to be a president or a politician or a queen, I don't know. An ambassador, somebody is going to basically say enough is enough and really get the ball rolling with environmental protection for the earth and for the ocean. Next one is Atlantis, rapid development, excellence, and success. So the more the feminine wakes up, the faster this energy is going to move. But we have to have the courage to do it, and we have to support each other in doing it. Okay, women have it hard enough. Let me tell you something that I fucking hate. A pick-me. Oh, I've said it a million times, and I'll say it a million and one. My space, my content, my brand, me, my business, my offerings, my digital temple, if you will, my life, none of it is a safe space for pick-me's. Because a pick-me will fucking unalive another woman over a sorry-ass man. Do not be friends with those women. Pray for their healing and move on. And don't, halt your own evolution and power moves because you're afraid of pick-me's will say, fuck them. I'm kind of blunt sometimes, y'all. It's one of those days I'm in my luteal phase. Another thing, falling in love, kissing the divine in another and in yourself. So this has a lot to do with divine union in the physical realm, which is high time, but also divine union within yourself. Okay, nurturing and nourishing and strengthening in a healthy way, in a balanced way, your inner divine masculine. And in my body of work, and in my teachings and practice and understanding, for a woman, her inner masculine is dark feminine energy. Because it's divine masculine energy filtered through a feminine body and nervous system and spirit. So it's not 100% masculine energy, right? It's a different type. And the dark feminine happens because you have the divine masculine, but you also have the more deep, intuitive, mystical, witchy, spiritual side that the feminine brings tied together, right? And it's about creating that within yourself and being able to switch between masculine and feminine as needed. Obviously, as a feminine woman, your goal should be to be in your feminine energy most of the time because that's going to feel best for you, right? But when you are in your masculine energy, you need to be in healthy divine masculine energy. So no more overworking and overgiving and under-receiving. No more perfectionism. All the toxic masculine traits, throw them out the window, girl. Okay? No one's asking you to be a man. We're asking you to be dark feminine. Okay? And the reason that I see it as dark feminine energy, and I just describe it that way, is because it's divine masculine energy filtered through a feminine body, soul, and nervous system and brain. But also, this dark feminine energy, it's how it's evolved in relation to the physical realm. Okay? And how we've had to strengthen ourselves. Because look at what all the dark goddesses represent, and a lot of their stories are fucking painful. Okay? There's a reason for everything. Last card is Time and Tide, Oceans, or what does that say? I need glasses, y'all. Oceanic Spells and Rituals, aka Siren's Nectar. Water magic is going to be your best friend over the next 10 years. Okay? Water magic is timeless, hello. But, that's really the energy that's stepping forward, trying to help women right now more than ever. Because it's so essential. And we need that deep, feminine, nourishing energy. We need that. Okay? So don't be afraid to bring out your witchy side. I said in a post the other day that a lot of y'all, and I say this in the most loving, soft, but empowering way, some of y'all are afraid to be witches. And I get it. I get it. But what breaks my heart is when women are dealing with spiritual warfare. And that's what's causing issues in their life. And they either don't know it, or they do know it, and they're too afraid to harness that power. Which is completely normal and understandable because of what we've been through. All the witch trials, it's a collective trauma. But at some point, in true Hecate fashion, you're going to come to a crossroads where your only two choices are you either do the rituals and energy work because that's what's necessary to get your life back in order, or you sacrifice yourself and your well-being and you allow those spiritual issues to get worse because you're afraid of what people will think. If you need help with this, Hecate will guide you, okay? And I highly recommend my Dark Feminine activation if you struggle with this or if you struggle with boundaries, okay? And I will put the link for the Dark Feminine activation in the description. Also, if you're navigating spiritual warfare, my Eagle Eye course is a huge tool for cleansing and protection and taking your power back. Okay, I will put all the links in the description. Let me know what y'all think below. Let me know your thoughts and feelings if this resonates. I know it does because, girl, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I am more tapped into the feminine collective than I would like to be. But it's for a reason. Okay? I love y'all so much.